Welcome back to World Crisis Radio. Just a few more interesting notes about the populist revolt against foreclosures. By the way, this is populism. Populism is economic populism, and it means I'm going to do something for working people. I'm going to deliver a benefit or defend them from some savage attack by the rich and the powerful. I'm going to stand up for the little guy. That's populism. Not stuff about the deficit or tax cuts for the rich. Nothing populist about that. It's got to be about the little guy, the forgotten man. So what we find is that in the obvious vacuum of leadership, because you have this effete snob in the White House, this detached, rich elitist with all of his idiotic social pretensions. In Maryland, the Supreme Court, the highest court in Maryland, on October 19th, promulgated an emergency rule. Judges can now appoint experts to study paperwork in fraud closure proceedings and require lawyers to swear to their accuracy, so their head is in the noose. New York State, the chief judge, the head of the Court of Appeals, one day later, October 20th, issued an order requiring that attorneys for mortgage companies sign affidavits saying that they had verified the accuracy of the documents submitted under penalties of perjury. Cuyahoga County, Ohio, I think it's Cleveland, last week, the county's judges say they will allow mortgage asset strippers, zombie banks, and hedge fund hyenas to get 30 days to ensure their paperwork is sound, or the cases are dismissed. And the comment from a judge in Cuyahoga County, because the court is now on notice about the potential flaw in the system, we decided that we could not turn a blind eye towards that. So here we now have a situation which this is better than nothing. The situation is becoming somewhat chaotic. What we need is the new Fraser-Lemke Act, the new blanket federal uniform, predictable, certain ban on foreclosures on primary residences. That includes family farms. Let's make that obvious, too. No foreclosures on family farms. We need them. If you're in the habit of eating, you better have plenty of family farms because you can't get along without them. And it's a tremendous success story of American technological genius then strangled by these financiers and their eagerness for ill-gotten gain. So remember also, for your own self-defense, right, it's time to fight foreclosures. If somebody tries to foreclose on you, fight, fight, fight. The slogan, produce the note. Produce the note. Show me the piece of paper, the actual, concrete, specific piece of paper that I signed saying you can take my house if I don't pay you. Produce the note, fight back, get the thing thrown out, appeal, and raise bloody hell about this stuff. Now, concerning the need for fighting back. Halloween came late this year. The austerity ghouls and the austerity vampires have now come out of their caves and their other hiding places. And the interesting thing is that behind all of this, and this is the big overarching consideration, Peter Peterson, the Peterson Institute for International Economics here in Massachusetts Avenue, and other tentacles of Peter Peterson are behind not one, but two gangs of austerity ghouls and austerity vampires. One is the dynamic duo that you saw this week, Erskine Bowles and Al Simpson. Erskine Bowles, of course, was the hedge fund hyena, the chief of staff in the Clinton White House in the final years. And it was the treachery of Erskine Bowles was an attempt to make a dirty deal with the discredited Newt Gingrich in 1998, which would have involved the destruction of Social Security as we know it. This was Erskine Bowles. So he tried once to destroy Social Security. Fortunately for us, Monica Lewinsky came along, and the resulting scandal destroyed the base of votes in the House of Representatives and the Senate that they were going to use to strip people of their economic rights. But unfortunately, Slick Willie, the element of treachery in Clinton, appears in retrospect even stronger than it did at the time. Remember that he destroyed the aid to families with dependent children, so-called welfare, one of the titles, I think Title IV of the Social Security Act of 1935. He destroyed that as part of his election campaign in 1996, and then as part of his quest for a heritage and for the future political advancement of his wife Hillary, he was willing to destroy Social Security. This is the story told in The Pact, the secret negotiations between Gingrich and the Clinton White House to dump your economic rights and to sacrifice them on the altar of Wall Street greed. So Erskine Bowles is back, and also Al Simpson, this sociopath who can't keep his mouth shut. He blurts out. It's very interesting. The Republican, again, the Republican Simpson is an open, brutal, cynical reactionary, whereas the Democrat uses high-sounding rhetoric about the needs of the country. Now let's get to the heart of the matter. The whole background of this commission is that the actual decisions, the staff work, is all bought and paid for by Peter Peterson, the former head of Lehman Brothers, a zombie bank institution in Wall Street, which he didn't lead it very well. He set it up for the bankruptcy, which came later on after he was no longer there. So we're told by these self-righteous austerity ghouls that they have harpooned every whale, that they've attacked every sacred cow. Well, all but one, Wall Street. There's nothing in here about a Tobin tax. I'm looking through their document. I don't find the Wall Street sales tax. I don't find the securities transfer tax. I don't find the financial turnover tax. I don't find the trading tax. I don't find the Robin Hood tax. I don't see anybody laying a glove on Wall Street in any way. I don't see anything about enforcing that quaint old corporate income tax that Goldman Sachs finds ways not to pay. None of that. So they say that they've challenged every sacred cow. Well, I'm afraid this is not just a sacred cow. This is the 200 megaton elephant in the room, the stubborn refusal of the BS Bowles-Simpson Commission to do anything to make Wall Street pay their fair share of this monstrous financial crisis, which they're responsible for creating. And instead, in line with the obsession of Peter Peterson over decades, they want to rip it out of your hide. They want to take it out of your Medicare, your Social Security, and your economic rights. And the answer is no. It will not pass. We'll be back in a minute on World Crisis Radio.